In this video, I'm going to attempt to make the most difficult noodles you can try to make at home, lanzhou拉面, or hand-pulled noodles. It's so difficult because one, to make a dough that's actually pullable, you need a very specific kneading technique and a very specific dough recipe. And two, even when you have a pullable dough, the actual technique of pulling the noodles is extremely hard to learn. So I spent over 10 frustrating hours trying to make these noodles at home. I tried 3 of the most common recipes that you can find on the internet, and I'll show you which one actually worked and every single detail that I learned. First, we're starting with soda ash and salt. It's essentially a stronger version of baking soda because I saw a bunch of recipes on Chinese social media that claim you can just use those ingredients. But when I looked in the comments, no one has actually succeeded this way. So I'm going to give it a try and see if it actually works. We're going to use a 52% hydration dough here, which for 500 grams of flour comes out to 260 grams of water. I'm kneading it in a log shape so the gluten has space to stretch out. Alright, so right now the dough is super soft and easily stretchable. The repeated stretching and twisting of the dough is supposed to untangle the gluten protein in the dough and allow it to become pullable. But as I repeated the process, I ran into a problem. Now the dough's getting a lot stiffer. It doesn't pull that well anymore. So only the first pull was easy. All the subsequent pulls, like right here, it starts tearing. Oh, okay. I can stretch it and I can feel like there's a very defined point where it just won't stretch anymore. And then it just starts tearing. I've tried it multiple times, and every time I try to pull, it doesn't go, it just breaks like this. At this point, the more I pull the dough, the stiffer it becomes, and it eventually just does not stretch anymore. So this has been a failure. The second recipe that I'm trying comes from Serious Eats, who suggested using nutritional yeast as a dough softener. So I went out and got some nutritional yeast. This is what it looks like. It actually smells pretty good. It smells like Doritos. Let's give it a taste. My first time ever trying nutritional yeast. It's like a cross between MSG and Parmesan and has like a really nice salty flavor too. It's really good. Because I could only find flaky nutritional yeast nearby, I'm gonna blend it with some salt and flour so it doesn't clump up. The role that the nutritional yeast plays in this recipe is to act as a dough reducer, which means that it breaks down some of the gluten structure in the dough so it becomes softer and stretchier. But the nutritional yeast isn't the actual active ingredient here. Instead, it's the glutathione. It's a peptide, which is a protein building block that's released by yeast during processing. One problem that I'm noticing immediately is that it seems like the nutritional yeast isn't incorporating into the dough that well. I'm just going to try and knead it smooth with some elbow grease. See if it works. After about 5 minutes of kneading, the rough surface from before is completely gone, and the yeast is actually pretty well incorporated, so it seems to be going pretty well. Check this out. This dough is super elastic. But there's some hope for us today. Even after a couple pulls, it doesn't immediately snap back like the other dough does, so this is a good sign. Oh, it's working. It's not breaking anymore. This is crazy. Oh, just kidding. So every time the dough gets too sticky, I just oil my hands. It's still breaking at some points like this. Still not quite pulling thin enough. So, gonna keep trying. It's not going that well. Every time I try to pull, arm's length, give it a try. It breaks. I've been trying to align the gluten for a while. So when you pull slowly, it kind of works, but then it breaks. It still doesn't have that toughness in the dough. Give it a couple more tries. Let's see the progress here. We'll go wide. Holds pretty well. Back in. Oh, okay. This is much better than before. Wide. Broke a little bit, so it's breaking at like this thickness, which still isn't thin enough for noodles. I think we've got it pretty close. Check this out. I'm pretty comfortable to giving pulling noodles a try now. Let's see if we can get a first try here. All right, first pull, it works out okay. Second pull, it works. Third pull, oh no, it broke by the third pull. It breaks when it's this thick which means that you're not gonna get like the super fine noodles. I'm gonna give it a couple more tries before I give up. Maybe this piece of dough is trash because all the strands of gluten is mixed up. I'm gonna use my backup dough. All right, see if this one will work. All right, looks promising. 1 pull, 2 pull, 3 pull, still there. 4 pull, okay. Oh no, okay. Different. It actually broke apart on this thickness, so we might be able to get somewhere. Maybe it just needs a little bit of rest. I'm committing this try no matter what. The water is boiling. We're cooking this noodle whether it breaks or not. Let's go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the thinnest I can get it. It will not go any thinner. This is what our noodle looks like. This is only cooked for about like 30 seconds. Just like the slightest pressure, the noodle just melts. It is completely the wrong texture for lamia. Look at that. The dough is so soft that there's no bite to it. All right, let's try it. The flavor is completely off. You can definitely still taste the nutritional yeast, which is kind of weird to taste in ramen. Overall, the texture tastes like overcooked pasta. I would consider this a failure, even though technically it's possible for you to be able to like pull like really thin noodles if you have enough practice working with a soft dough, but the texture of the noodles is just awful. In this packet, we have our magic powder. This is sold as hand-pulled noodle powder in the US, but it's traditionally known as penghui. I don't recommend smelling it. This is the ingredient list for the magic powder. You can pause the video to take a look. Over 50% of it is actually soda ash, which is what we used in the first recipe. But the crucial part is the other 50%. It's all different types of dough relaxers designed to make the dough not tear while being stretched. At this point, it's pretty clear that this dough has a completely different texture than everything else. It's like very, very slimy. We have the amount of water that's recommended by the manufacturer, and the dough is tough but slimy. And the goal here is to try and knead it smooth. Okay, the dough is nice and smooth now. I'm gonna let it rest for 30 minutes and we'll see how stretchy it gets after. It's been 40 minutes and let's see how our dough is doing. Oh, that feels pretty good. Okay, the second pull has some resistance. All right, the third pull has a lot more resistance. I'm gonna use some oil to keep my hand not that sticky. This immediately is so much different than the first two doughs. It's not soft at all, but it's still very stretchy. One quick, even pull. Ooh, okay. We broke at 2 pulls, so we're still pretty far away. Give it a little bit of water to prevent it from drying out. See if it's gonna be able to pull. Here we go, moment of truth. Let's see how it feels. All right, off the bat, the dough definitely feels softer, but it's the same softness as the first time after I rested. Let's see if it pulls well. Still kind of tough. Okay, that broke immediately. I think I have an idea. I have some extra magic powder here. Since that's what gives it the softness and it's not getting very soft, I think we might need a little extra help in this dough. Mix this up in some water, mix it back in to see if that helps. It'll break when you pull. So that's definitely not the right texture. This took so much longer than I expected. To get to this point, it has taken me 2.5 hours. I've had to pour more water into the dough. I've added more penghui. I've had it in the mixer for like probably a cumulative of 20 minutes. And this is the result so far. So now we finally have a stretchable dough. It's not fully ready yet though. I've learned that it's not ready when you pull and it gets super skinny in the middle and super thick on the sides. When the dough stays the same thickness while being pulled, then it's ready. The reason why this is so hard to make at home is because without someone there to show you what real pullable dough feels like, it feels like you're driving blind. But after many trials and errors, here are the key things that I learned. You'll know the dough is correct when on each stretch the dough becomes softer. If that's not the case, then the dough either needs more water or more magic powder. Depending on the humidity, the dough could lose a lot of water while being worked. I knew that I had enough water when the dough was slightly sticky. When the dough is sticky but still breaking, adding more magic powder fixed the issue. Whoa. I mean, my technique is not perfect, but the noodle is pretty thin. I'm gonna dip it in flour now, and once it's dipped in flour, there's no going back. You can't form it back into a pullable dough again. This bowl of noodles was a result of 10 plus hours of work and countless hours of research. I was too hungry at this point to say anything, but this bowl of noodles was 80% there compared to noodles from a real restaurant. So good. Just go and buy it. Don't spend 4 hours making it.